What's going on, guys? Pedro here with Four Low Addicts, and I got Walter here with me. This beautiful third Gen Tacoma you see behind me is his. What we're gonna be doing today is we're actually gonna be chopping his body mount just to make clearance for these new tires that he's got. He's running, what are they, 285s?
285, 75 R16s.
Yeah, so this beautiful, beautiful truck is, the color is just, it's definitely eye candy. So why don't you stay tuned? We're gonna start, and then we'll show you once we start chopping, we'll mark everything out. We're gonna take his templates, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna transfer that onto a piece of paper. Then we're gonna mark it out on the actual mount itself so that we can start cutting it out. We're gonna determine whether we use a grinder, see if there's room for us to use a plasma cutter without damaging the actual bushing. But we'll keep you guys tuned as we're doing everything.
Okay, let it be known. I'm working hard.
So what we're doing here to get started, we just removed the wheels. Everything's already on jack stands. Everything's chalked in the back. What we're gonna do is I traced out the actual plate onto a piece of paper just to make it easier to trace, to make it easier to kind of put it where it needs to be. This is gonna allow us, instead of having a piece of metal, and it's flexible too, so that if we try to start trimming it out, we want to make it so that it looks as best as possible. What I'm going to do right now is actually I'm going to bend it just a little bit here to account for some of that. And then as we're cutting it open, we'll go ahead and actually fill in the difference wherever it needs to be. I'd rather cut less and make adjustments than cut too much and not be able to fill in later. So as you can see here, I went ahead and marked it out with a Sharpie here. We're gonna go ahead and make a decision here whether we cut it with the plasma cutter or whether we go with the grinder. It's pretty thin metal, so I think the plasma cutter might just make it real easy, make it quick. I'm gonna try to cut it as close as I can to the corner here first and up here, and then make adjustments as we see fit once we put the plate. All right, guys, so what we're gonna start doing now is we're gonna use the plasma cutter to start cutting the trace that we just marked on the actual cab mount. I'm just clearing out the spot for the actual ground. And I think Walter's pretty nervous. This is the first time he's gonna be cutting into his truck. Rightfully so. It's a beautiful truck. I'd be nervous too if I was cutting it. You ready, bro?
I ain't on the phone. This ain't a home. This ain't a phone. Grind never stopping. I'm keeping it cold. Unlocking the door with the holy key. You supposed to be this close to me, and hopefully you understand G.O.D. Maybe this cold and I'm talking like no degrees. This ain't a fluke. I seen it way before it ever happened. He gave me the view. I had to put in my time on the TV. It coming in soon. I couldn't leave it all up to a variant or an experience. You gotta get up and do what it do. So complicated, homie, it's you. Always gonna wait until you in the mood.
All right, guys, so we got the first cab mount cut off completely. It's gonna get ready. We're gonna actually be tagging it here shortly. My cousin Sal's here now. He just joined us here for the party. But we got the first one cut where it needs to be. There was a lot of fine tuning to get it to where we wanted it to be, just because the plates were just kind of blank. And then we wanted to find a happy medium where he was happy with the clearance that we gained. So we're gonna go ahead and show you how much we cut off and where the plate sits at the moment. Look here. I mean, it doesn't look like a whole lot, but we actually cut quite a bit already. And that plate's just sitting there. I'm gonna go ahead and start tacking. The bottom's actually flush to the plate, and we have a little bit of a gap on the top, but because we're gonna be doing a smooth finish on this, I think I should be able to close that gap fairly easy, and then just grind it down to a smooth finish, which is what he wants. So that just makes it actually a lot easier to do. But if I take that off, you can see here, we're flush basically to the opening for the body mount, and the bushing's in here. The one other bolt that holds the actual rubber bushing on this side is also clear. So when he needs to replace these bushings, he should have no issues getting that out. As you can see here, we went over here. We already cut this right about here. We're gonna put that back on. When we put the tires back on, we'll go ahead and actually do full lock on the tires and see if we need to do any trimming. The pinch weld sits right around here. We were debating whether to push that back or not. But from what I saw earlier, he wasn't really rubbing a whole lot. Unless he goes to bigger tires, maybe on full lock. But I think in the future what we'll do, we'll just we'll either heat this up, push it back, but we need to bend this pinch weld back here further back. Probably doing a slit here and a couple slits and then bend them out to get it out of the way. But we might still do that. We'll figure out right now.
Running, came out, gunning, stopped the fronting on your word. It's what you hear, not what you heard. I'ma hate on every verb. I'ma show you what it's worth. Every day I'm on the earth till they put me in the dirt. I'ma get into it first.
All right, so I got the driver's side done and I grinded it down smooth just as he wanted. However, I forgot to hit record on the camera as I was welding, so I'm hoping to catch the other side when I cut it and weld the plate on. I think the other one's gonna go by significantly faster just because we already kind of have the perimeter where we want to stop, how far we want to go back. So yeah, hopefully I get to record the other side as I'm welding the plate on. All right, so we're on the other side. I just traced out the template as well here, just as I did on the other side. However, what the difference on this time, we actually know how far we got to go back. On the other side, we had to do a little trial and error. We cut further forward and then push back. So now we know we got to start back here. We measured about 1 inch from this outside edge over here. So that gave us that nice tilt on that plate. It did create a bigger gap on the top from that plate that he got. I believe that plate that he got was just a plate off of Amazon. I'm not sure on the brand. Seemed like it was a generic plate. I'll go ahead and have him shoot it over and we'll add it on the comments below. But yeah, so we want 1 inch from this outer lip over here. This way we want 1 inch, marked it there, and that's about as far as we went, because on the other side we cut a little bit, cut some more, and then we ended up marking it 1 inch and cutting it there. So that was kind of the trial and error that we went on the first round. So this time should go a little faster because we know how far back we want to go. And we're just going to cut it all out. I'm going to start it out with the plasma cutter and then the grinding wheel. Clean it up and weld on that plate. Hopefully I don't forget to hit the record button and we can record some welding, and then we'll show you what it looks like once it's done. So stay tuned and we'll show you what it looks like as we're doing it.
Said I'ma get into it first until they put me in the dirt. Said I'ma get into it first. Said I'ma get into it.
All right, guys, so cut the other side here. As I mentioned earlier, this was a lot easier because we already had a base to go off of from the other side. We got that all cut out, cleaned up. I'm gonna start fitting it out, start grinding down, and go from there.
Ain't break, that's the thing about me. I won't put these goals on freeze. I can't break, that's the thing about me. I won't put.
All right, so here's the other side. We're done with it. I just hit it with some Steelite to encapsulate that metal a little bit better. Again, we grinded it down to give it that smooth finish that he wanted. This thing actually turned out pretty good. I think he gained quite a bit of clearance on that. We knocked quite a bit off. So we're going to be putting the wheels here on shortly and we'll turn it on to full lock, see how it goes.
I mean this spinach and broccoli. Termination like I'm Rocky. Lift the heavy, no spot, please. Body bag of beating it, I get away scotch-free. And I'ma take control, unbreakable. I sense the face, the shakes is cold, the grace is more. Plus it's really the motivation, so it's thank you so. Like that's on my neck, hard work on my brain. The easy road taking the left, it's on my chest. No time for regrets, faith in the Jimmy like Steph. Shooting is wet like clay, the party ain't maybe this way. I'm taking all of this left to the bank. I'ma deposit and see what it make. Shoot it,
all right, guys, so look at that clearance that he's got now. You can see the brackets back there. We actually we had to do a little persuasion on the inner wheel wells here. On that plastic, we actually pulled them back a little bit, heated them up, and we did do a little trimming on them. But now he's got all kinds of clearing on this. This is the driver's side. I'll show you real quick what the other side looks like. It's pretty much about the same thing here. He's got quite a bit of clearance now. he already drove it full lock and it clears up now. This thing's pretty nice. He actually just put those upper control arms, which they look pretty good. And you can't really be upset with these fresh wheels and tires. Makes it look real good. We just about finished up the truck for Walter. He's back here. He's been quite the trooper. We've been working steadily. We got this done in a day. It took us what, maybe 4 hours?
Yeah.
5?
Yep.
And we trimmed those the cab mount brackets. We just chopped them, put a filler plate, and the amount of space that he gained is actually pretty impressive, how much he actually gained. And it looks really good. The truck is a beautiful truck, and he's done a really good job with all the lights and everything he's done. He's actually the only owner on that truck, so it's pretty impressive. He's got 100,000 miles on it, so the motor's still pretty young, and he's gonna put a lot of more miles on the trail now. we're gonna see it in 4-dive soon. So anyway, thank you guys for joining us today. This is Pedro, Walter, 4 Low Addicts here. If you have any questions about this, or you're on the fence about doing a modification like this, feel free to ask any questions down in the comments. And if you're on the fence about it, go ahead and do it. The clearance that he gained with just a chop, it's pretty impressive. I've done the cab relocation bracket for my brother's truck, and he gained a lot of clearance as well, but I'm pretty impressed how much he actually gained by just chopping up that mount. So if you're trying to fit bigger tires, this is definitely a great mod. So till next time, this is Pedro with 4 Low Addicts. Build, wheel, brake, and repeat. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Your support's always appreciated. Till next time, thanks for joining us today.